Welcome to Map Crow, the RPG art show. My name is Kyle, and today we're talking about ASCII Maps. Today's episode is also in collaboration with the Roll for Topic podcast. I adore this podcast, and I was recently a guest on it to help plan a sci-fi dungeon in one episode, and then the following episode, they are going to be doing an actual play to show what it's like to go from no ideas to writing some notes to running a dungeon and just kind of make the whole GM prep process more transparent. It's a wonderful show. Most of the time, they are talking about various random topics. They roll on a table, they see what they're going to talk about that week, and they have various guests on the show. It's a lovely show. You should definitely check it out at their website, www.gmdiscussions.com, or just check for Roll for Topic. That is the preposition FOR, Roll for Topic, on any of your podcatching apps. I'm going to cut in some of the audio from the episode I was a guest on while I demonstrate how to make ASCII maps on the screen. The group decided they wanted to create a sci-fi dungeon for a one-shot, and this was a wonderful opportunity for me to revisit the sci-fi map episode, because while I've done an episode on a sci-fi map, I used graphite to kind of make an image in basically the same kind of style that I would use for a fantasy map. And what I wanted to do on this episode was show a different way of map making, something that kind of acknowledged that kind of like chunky, aliens, Ridley Scott, computer graphic style. Something that, even if you have no drawing skill at all, if you have a keyboard and open office, you can make an ASCII map. ASCII is an acronym that kind of refers to all of the special characters and glyphs that are kind of embedded in all fonts. But I am using a font called C64 Pro Mono, which is a kind of font that resembles the old font face from the Commodore 64 microcomputer. And it really makes some very beautiful images. In the early days of computer programming, there wasn't a lot of memory for graphics. So all of these images that they ended up making for various applications and games were actually just using a bunch of fonts that would change and animate and use different colors. And I love just the chiseled brutalism of ASCII, and it's really a wonderful art form, and it's very accessible and completely free, basically. If you have a computer, you have all the things that you need to do ASCII art. Now, I kind of cheat, I must confess, and I use text boxes in Photoshop and text boxes in Google Slides, so I had just a little bit more control over things, but even so, all I'm using is the C64 Pro font to make all of these images and then arrange them in Photoshop. But like I said, all you really need is a word processor. And here, I'm going to kick in with some audio from the Roll for Topic podcast with myself, guesting with co-hosts Christopher Salzman, Andy Rao, and my favorite DM,
John Corey.
Hello.
And we're putting it all on the table. You're going to hear probably some bad ideas at the start and then some better ideas later on, hopefully, and then probably some bad ideas again towards the end, but it'll all come together and it's going to be amazing and magical. Let's start there. So if we want to set this thing in space, and I think we're all interested in that, probably because like eating ourselves off this earth sounds really great right now. Kyle, what do you think? What are you thinking for time?
I think horror lends itself to adventure really nicely. Mm-hmm. Ever since John ran Sailors Under the Starless Skies, or whatever it's called, for the DCC module.
Sea, I think, yeah.
And It was so much fun. And that has me really thinking about like this kind of like horrible thing where people are expected to die like grisly deaths and not have like, this amazing magical item that will, keep the game from being interesting.
Yeah, everybody's got a red shirt right out of the gate, and that's just the way it is.
What type of sci-fi is this?
One of the things that makes the DCC funnel fun, and I'm not saying we have to do it just like that, is these are not heroes or adventurers, right? They're farmers and plowmen and, candle makers.
Yeah, if like the beefiest weapon like that any of the player characters have is like a hot rivet gun or something like that. Like that kind of, then you're really kind of thinking through your options in a different way, perilous enough to not be too dry.
I am interested in a setting that would feel reasonable, that there's like kind of a variety of different things going on.
Maybe something like a hotel, like a space hotel. Maybe the characters are like the janitorial staff, something like that. Oh, we're going to work, like we're clocking in, and
that's
this is not right.
Kind of like the Shining in space. It's like they have to go take care of this space hotel in the off season.
Oh, nice.
I like this idea, but I'm wondering, like, what if it was like a Galaxy Mega Millionaires, private luxury base or something like that. I mean, that maybe not that, but
like it's like
something
Jeff
where
Bezos's
we'd have a reason to put in like something odd that no sane, hotel would have on its property. I don't know.
No, like update the living room decor. So then your characters, you could have like an interior designer. You could have like a editorial
really good.
Yeah, they're getting ready for a party, right?
Yeah.
And you've got to go there. It's right before the holidays. And it's like a New Year's party, but you've got to go on Christmas to get it all set up. And you really hate
love that.
That is a good one, yes. So I was thinking maybe a crew of pirates or something like that has just landed on what they think is a empty and vulnerable station and are on site,
so
like looking for a good.
That's Coen Brothers stuff right there. It's just like have a completely different movie crash into your movie.
Yes. I'm still stuck on this. There's an actual alien menace thing.
I don't think it sounds very fun to me that the PCs just get in a big firefight with a gang of pirates, but more that the pirates are a tool the GM can use to throw into encounters just to complicate them. I don't know. Do you go in the main obvious docking port, or do you, I don't know, is there a way to introduce like a choice that the PCs could make? Or do we want to just start it off with a bang, they're in the ship?
Maybe the shuttle that they're on is automated. They have a choice of docking bay, but they can't go home. And the solar storm is already bad enough they can't call home either. So they have two choices, and that's it.
Yeah, actually, that's great. We should make a list of rooms and a list of potential encounters first, and then see how they naturally fit together. And in fact, as the Zero Prep GM, I'd stop after I made the list, and then
Yes. Kyle, do you want to throw out an encounter or a location?
Well, I mean, the living room with the android mermaid aquarium was my idea, but
that's fine. Okay, Chris, I see Chris writing this down, so that can be your idea.
Wow. Lisa Frank just vomited all over that living room. All right, John, what is your encounter or room?
My room is one of the bedrooms, the big master suite. Okay, has a gigantic bathtub in it.
Okay,
and the water in the bathtub is both frozen and black. Maybe there's an alien inside the water.
Okay. I don't know. I think that's kind of fun to throw that in there. It feels very random, but in a good way.
Yeah, that's my it's my middle name. Very random, but in a good way.
Is it hyphenated?
That's a mouthful.
No, it's like a hashtag. It's just all runs together. It's weird.
Okay, Andy, what is your idea for a room encounter?
What about some kind of a game room, like a cross between like a laser tag arena and like the holodeck?
Okay, that was what I thought. The room I'm thinking about is the kitchen is to his specifications modeled exactly on like a 18th century kitchen inside of a castle. All right, let's keep going. Kyle, what do you got?
I think the computer core is in the middle of a topiary maze.
Then, in addition to that, there's like it's not like a ballroom. It's like it is like a ballroom. It's a place where you could dance, right? And whether you want to do disco or ballroom dancing. So there's automated music there that can be programmed, and then there's android dancing partners. So if it's an odd man out or a situation where somebody doesn't want to dance with somebody there, they could dance with an android.
Yeah. What about some sort of an animal preserve? Like I imagine this sort of person who like just acquires exotic creatures Like he doesn't know or care about like, their ecosystems or how to, he plops them into his, this animal preserve.
And maybe like the stowaway, which we haven't talked about a lot recently, but like maybe he's eaten a couple of them already.
Yes.
Sorry, what if
it's like this endangered ibex that he just like had a dinner from?
Yeah.
Oh, I find that too delightful, Kyle.
Yeah. What if the zoo is kept under like cryogenic stasis until they show up? Like so it's like in the meantime when no one's here, he just like puts them all on ice immediately, and then you can have one of them will cup.
So that is such rich person garbage right there.
I know, right? Yeah. Okay, so I don't remember what I was gonna say. So I guess we're gonna wrap up right there.
Okay.
Oh no,
so
I was gonna ask.
The pirates are after something, and
the pirates have gone into the comet to like get the treasure, and when they come out with it, something else comes along with them. What does that thing look like? It can't be black goo. It can't be an energy monster. Like this thing needs to have wings and arms. What does it look like?
Okay.
What if it's just like a grasshopper with a vaguely human-shaped face? Like that. I mean, that's all you have to do.
Yeah, that's bad. I really don't like that at all.
Yeah, just a bunch of kind of like football-sized grasshoppers with human faces.
Yeah. Okay. We got there. Okay.
One thing that does that's nice is it makes it impossible for the solution to be like a gunfight against the monster.
Yeah. Your plot is escape the station using your ship or the pirate ship, or stop the outbreak. To Andy's point, if it's one big one, you can just kill it in theory.
So why are the PCs not getting back in their shuttle and leaving when things start to go bad and it becomes clear that they can't?
It's an automated shuttle.
Yeah,
it's automated or it blows up.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that idea. It like literally won't leave until the allotted time.
Yeah, I mean their shift isn't up for 24 hours, so it's not gonna it's like one of those sorts of things. Yeah.
Like that's why I'm thinking like the pirates can't leave because the captain has the key. Some of them run back to the ship and then realize we can't take off without the captain's key, and that means you can't take off without the captain's key.
Ooh, I do like the idea of the captain being somewhere on the station and no one knows where, but I don't know why that would be the case.
When you arrive, are those aliens already starting to come out of the hole, or is the sequence like you're on at minute 15, like a pirate makes a sound somewhere coming up from the mine. At minute 30, all the pirates are starting to unload treasure. At minute 45, they finish unloading. At 1 hour, like they realize the captain's gone. Hour 15, the aliens start coming out. So I think like having some like a sequence of events, and then maybe
you could also just start switching off like locations, and the PCs would be able to see this on like a station map or something like that. Like just the integrity of the zoo or whatever just failed. That location is off limits unless you're in a spacesuit now, and just that the time pressure is sooner or later the PC's location is going to get invaded and they'll be toast.
I guess, is there a scenario that anyone can think of in which they destroy all the aliens and like kind of undo everything and finish up decorating for the big party? Like
I hadn't occurred to me that could happen even remotely until you just said it.
So maybe a kind of closing question from the GM prep perspective. What does the GM really need to have? So we're going to have some pre-gen characters for the players. Mm-hmm. I think we should have some pre-gen NPCs to like cover the main pirate crew, and then maybe the handful of NPCs we've done. We're looking at a pretty lightweight system, I think Chris said, but anything else?
I would have, this is a Powered by the Apocalypse thing, but I always like to have this list. First of all, what are the motivations? Like, write down the motivations for everyone, including the creatures. Yep. And it doesn't have to be complicated, but the creatures are motivated to eat metal or get water or they're a swarm. They want to dominate the environment. Whatever that motivation is, I would write that down. And then some impressions, right? So you step into the station and immediately you can see your breath. It's colder than you thought it would be. Just impressions that set the tone that you want, that you can pull out at the appropriate time.
Okay, well, is there anything else we need to cover here, or shall we wrap up? Because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here.
I feel like
we're good. I mean, just so people know, the reality of GM prep is like you get all these good ideas. So like I'll probably spend another 2 hours ish, if not more, putting stuff together and stuff, because I don't want to like hide that part of the process from people. Right. So there's going to be all these like other things that happen after the big brainstorming session to bring it together. And then you put it at the table, and then it's just going to be really fun to see how broken it gets right when players actually start to interact with it. And like all your great ideas sort of go out the window a little bit, although we'll have the alien swarm
into space.
There will be pirates. Yes.
And in space, nobody can hear your good idea die.
Yeah.
I think we should plan on I would love to have a follow-up discussion after this is done about like, how did you take these like 12 cool rooms and 12 cool encounters and 15 crazy ideas and turn them into a one shot. So let's have that conversation after you're done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey guys, this has been super
Let's wrap it
fun. Thank you, Kyle, and thank you, John, for joining me and Chris for this. Chris, you want to sign us off?
Oh yeah, I should sign us off. I'm just gonna say thank you from all of us for listening to this. If you made it this far, you are a super fan, and you get all the gamer points, I guess, for it. But yeah, so I'm gonna use my signature sign off here. Remember, if your GMs are having fun, you're a great GM.
And thank you, Andy and Chris, for having me on the show. I always enjoy talking to you. I learn so much from you. And to anybody who enjoys this channel, I think you would adore their podcast. I really think of MapCrow as sort of like a sister show or a spin-off of Roll for Topic, because their community, their podcast, those GMs are the people I really look up to and learn the most from, and really inspired me to get going with MapCrow in the first place. So please download it wherever fine podcasts are uploaded, or check out their website at gmdiscussions.com. I will have links to everything in the description below. But I think that just about does it for this episode. If you're exceedingly curious about the things that you saw happening in the video, in the background while the discussion was happening, let me know if you want me to do an extra video on this. I could describe it, but I think most of it's just kind of typing, so you could probably figure it out. So until next time, my friends, farewell.